I just want to do a little video diary and document what it feels like the night before making the decision to ask for another TPO in a county where you've been denied one. If you don't know what that is, that's a temporary protective order. And what that will do, hopefully, will protect me from my rapist, who is also my ex husband. And I was denied a TPO already in the same county that I'm going to ask for another. I was told that my demeanor was too confident to have been raped and that he's my husband. So that was devastating, but I found out that there was some home cooking involved and that I shouldn't have been denied, obviously. The FBI is looking into that, but in the meantime, he's still able to contact me, and he does, and he has a lot here lately. He was able to get a warrant placed on me for interference with custody recently, and I went to jail for that. That was because I ran with my baby. He kept him for about 3 weeks, had surgery performed on him, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of sick stuff to hurt me to continue the abuse. And he hurt that baby by taking him away from his mother and putting him through surgery. I missed Mother's Day with my son. I have never missed any holiday with any of my children, but I missed Mother's Day. And so after that ordeal, when I got my son back, I wasn't giving him back. You best believe I wasn't giving him back. And so I ran with the baby, and I was caught. There was some very suspicious police involvement with that in several counties. He was allowed to roam my safe houses. Thank God I wasn't there at the first two that he went to. One of my dear friends, she escaped that. Of course, I was only there 2 or 3 days. I was found in a hotel room in Ackworth. A friend of mine had put me up there for my safety because all my safe houses were being found out. Nobody wanted to take me in anymore. And so, yeah, they came and got my baby from me at a hotel. And I went to court 2 or 3 days later for the divorce hearings, and I pled my case as to why I did that. And the judge ignored me, didn't even look at me while I spoke, and gave him my list of due diligence of things I had done to prove my case and the reason behind my flight. And according to Georgia Code, he was supposed to inquire whether that flight was inspired by violence or the threat thereof, and he did not inquire. And you're also not supposed to change custody until such inquiry is complete, but there never was one, and my ex got full custody. And but I was not held in contempt for my actions. That's important to notate here. I was not held in contempt for what I had done. That judge did not see the need to lock me up for that. But unbeknownst to me, the day before court, mind you, my ex has my baby in his physical custody. It's the day before a court hearing. He goes to a whole nother court, the magistrate court. He likes to pull what Henry VIII did with Catherine of Aragon. Every time she got him in court, he'd put her in front of a new judge. You got to spread it out so nobody knows the whole story. And you got to keep hoping for the answer you want, I suppose, when you're Henry VIII. It's good to be the king. Anywho, so he got this warrant at the magistrate court for interference with custody, which is odd to me because there was no custody agreement at that time. So I don't see how I interfered with it. And he got that warrant. He was able to get it. I was homeless. Like I've explained to you, I was doing a lot of bouncing. So I was homeless and I did not get the notification for that court date until the day after that court date. And I called the magistrate, and I even have that phone call recorded. If you want it, I've got it. I got all my calls recorded. And so I was told that I would have to turn myself in, that I would have to subject myself to the humiliation and the discomfort of going to jail wrongfully in, just a warrant that just an average Joe was able to just go get. So she told me I just had to turn myself in because that judge didn't sit on the bench every day. It's a small court. This lady comes in and she leaves, whatever. I'd have to turn myself in, clear up the warrant. And I said, you're crazy. So I didn't hide, but I didn't turn myself in neither. I was in plain sight the whole time, going places, hanging out, doing whatever. So eventually I did get picked up on that warrant, though. I was babysitting, and the child I was keeping hit a security alarm system. So obviously when the police came to investigate, identification was required, and tearfully that officer had to take me in. Really all I could do at that moment, as he searched me, he placed me in front of his car to search me so that his car camera would catch everything. And I spoke very clearly into his body microphone, and I looked very clearly into that dash cam, and I said, this is what Steve Orr wants. This is the face of abuse. He will use public resources such as the police, Department of Family and Children's Services, what have you, to further harass and intimidate me. And he is ecstatic that this man is putting his hands all over my body, unwanted, because he's reminded me that that's what he does. And that's what all men will do. That's that mentality of a rapist, combined with a narcissistic abuser. So I said my piece into that camera, and I had already said my piece to that officer. That's why the arrest was a little tearful. Not for me. For him. You ain't lived until you've seen a police officer crying behind his sunglasses, his jaw working. You can see every vein and tendon. When you reduce grown male police officers to tears, who's going to protect you? I had a police officer the other day ask me, are you a convicted felon? I said, no. He said, well, why don't you get a gun? He said, when I take this uniform off at night, who do you think protects me? And who do you think protects my family? I still do, even without the uniform. Why don't I get a gun? I said, because math, okay? Did you ever take statistics? There's this thing called statistics, and they say that I'm more likely to get shot and killed with my weapon than I am to use it to defend myself, and that's just math. So, officer, that's why I don't want to get a gun. So, this man that's done all these crazy legal things to me, I got to go back to this twisted legal system that seems to be helping him. And I don't know how to feel. I know that I'm scared. You can see this camera shaking. I should be all pro and get a tripod so you don't see how bad I'm shaking just thinking about it. And in the meantime that I've faced this corruption, if you can't tell, I'm a talker. And that's because I'm a former talk show host. I'm an actress. And I'm also a waitress. We like to talk. All the above. Like to talk. And talk is about all I've had. Exposing this man, exposing this system, all the key players in this story. Exposing them is all that I have. And I've done that on Instagram at not underscore a underscore whole underscore in underscore a underscore mattress. That is at not a hole in a